this. We come over here and we share our screen to the middle one. And then I say, yo, what up, man? How's it going?
What's up, man? Not too bad. How about you?
I'm well. I'm very, very well. We are doing a deck doctor today on Nomu. We're doing a deck doctor today on Nomu. Gonna be a good one. Gonna be a fun one. This character is sweet and is only getting sweeter with cool set 2 stuff, which obviously we're seeing. So hit me with the quick elevator pitch of what's going on with your super rad evil symboled Nomu deck. I think that's never happened before.
So looking at all the symbols and everything, I feel like evil is one of the. It's basically no representation in set 1.
For sure.
And I feel like a lot of the evil characters in set 2 give it enough tools to really be like a competitor for a good symbol. And I just wanted to take a character that I think could utilize all the new evil stuff the best. And looking at all of them, I came to Nomu for it.
I love that. I think this character is cracked. I made an evil Shigaraki deck that I've played on stream, and if it gets even a little ahead, it just mollywops you. It kills you so hard, so fast. I'm actually in love with that deck. It is crazy how good that card is. I am in the process of grabbing some moves, some schmoves.
Mm-hmm.
For us to look at. So I think so your elevator pitch is hit me with your attack lineup. What are you thinking here? We've got Double Blade Slash. Obviously, this card's insane. Hit me with Sinister Paralyzation. Why this card?
So Sinister Paralyzation is one of those cards. It kind of mainly for the fact that it's a decent low and it's a seal. Because the thing is, a lot of foundations are really good in this game.
Right.
And so being able to target foundations and assets on this card and just seal them can just really help your game plan. And you don't really care about the combo enhance too much, you know?
Right. For sure.
If you're playing Nomu, they're probably going to take in damage at some point during this game. They're not going to perfect block you the entire time.
100%. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Man, I've put so many cards in our sideboard. Look at this. Look at all these options we have out of this super sweet symbol now. So here's the big thing about the evil symbol. Is they gave the evil symbol a bunch of 5 difficulty, 5 speed moves. Double Blade Slash and Knife Slice are actually insane in this character. They are messed up, not fair cards. Genuinely.
Yeah, 100%. Especially Double Blade Slash in Nomu. Because the weakness of Double Blade Slash is that it only hits for 3. But Nomu makes it hit for 8.
Yep. And the big thing that I did with it was I did Shigaraki. So mine also hits for 8, but it's just once, right? And then when they do block it, and you get to lose 1 of your 35 health to give the check harder to play. It has stun 1. Yep. If it's blocked, the next one gets stun 1, and then you sling a Knife Slice. And so it's a 10 damage move that burns them for 1, and you gain your 1 back that you paid on the double blade. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so good. The big things that I'm trepidatious about, genuinely, is the 2-check on Sinister Paralyzation. I think this card is interesting, but I don't think that you need it in your deck, actually. I would rather see this card as a Slashing Whirlwind 100 out of 100 times. Because once again, it's just a 5-speed move. It's another 5 mid for 8, right? And this one's on a 4 diff. It's got the 1 mid block, and it has a really good momentum out, which we don't currently have inside of our deck. We just don't have momentum outs even a little bit, right? You have one in the Merciless Rush in the sideboard, and maybe something over here.
No, I don't think I'm playing any momentum.
Literally nothing. And so I think Slashing Whirlwind is cool. We also have just like going back to the classic Fury package, right? Like Berserker Blow is insane in our deck. Like it says that if they don't block this thing, they have to block this thing. It's essentially a 4-diff, and we blow up one of their cool moves. We've got Corrosion Lunge that says they have to block. We've got Decaying Grip that says they can't block. It's another 8 damage move, and it kills them. Touch Decay. If it's completely blocked, you add it back to your hand. Turn to Dust. And all of these combo Fury things, they work off of Double Blade Slash, which is the most perfect opener of all time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and so I think the cards that we get to cut out of this deck are Sinister Paralyzation, Summon, Dark Shadow Ruin, and maybe Gale Force Punch. I think Gale Force Punch is a little, just the tiniest bit greedy in this deck, but if you're married to it, I would just be married to it, and I would just play 4 of this card.
Just play 4 of it?
Yeah, I think if this is what you want to do, man, this is what you want to do, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know if I'm married to it as hard as a 4 of.
Then if that's the case, then I think that
maybe
you should.
It's a better sideboard card.
You should cut it for Touch of Decay. You should cut it for Slashing Whirlwind. You should cut it for maybe a different high block. Well, we've already got 4 high blocks here, right? We don't need these other high blocks. We're fine. We're Nomu, right? We need to cover our bases. We don't need to make sure that we're fine, you know. And even like having just a bunch of 1 mid blocks, right? We got Nice Slice, which is the 1 mid block. We've got Slashing Whirlwind, which is the 1 mid block. We've got Turn to Dust, which is a 1 mid block. Even just partial blocking these things is fine, right? Hit me with your Dark Shadow Ruin. What's going on here?
So I think Dark Shadow Ruin's insane in Nomu if you have Nervous Habit built.
Ooh, okay.
Because Nervous Habit gives it 1 speed, Nomu gives it the damage. And then now for Nomu, it's a 5 high for 13. That stuns 1.
Yeah. 5 high 13 stun 1. Is that better than the, assuming under the same parameters, we've got a 5 high for 10 with stun 2 that burns them for 2 or destroys the foundation, or burns them for 2 or destroys the foundation? The biggest thing is this card has EX. Yeah. That is another momentum out to use, as opposed to the Slashing Whirlwind, which says that our 10 damage move probably is going to hit, as opposed to the Ruin. But this card does have Breaker, which if we do decide to block with it, is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a really nice to have Breaker, because the only other thing that has Breaker is Evil Gaze.
Correct.
Which is out of 4 of.
Right.
But
I think that is the correct call. I think Evil Gaze at a 4 of a Nomu is insane. We saw the power of that in the death symbol at the provisional, right?
Yeah, just utilizing health as a resource on your turn in Nomu is just insane.
So here's what I'm thinking. We'll tackle the easy ones first. I think Sinister Paralyzation is neat. I think that it is not that great inside of our deck. It is a 3 low for 10. I think there's just a better value out of Slashing Whirlwind, which is a 5 for 8.
I can agree to that.
Or you just take this out and you 4x this Nice Slice. We'll put this in the sideboard so we still have access to it, but it's just gone. And so now we're back to 19 because we put in the double Gale Force, right? This is our high. I think that Gale Force should just leave, genuinely. I don't think that it's necessary, and I think that we put in... we could just put in the Turn to Dust at the 4 of.
Turn to Dust over the
other one.
The Gale Force. Yeah.
And then, so the thing is we could put this at a 2 or a 3, and then put in the other Slashing Whirlwind at the 2, right? And the reason to do that is because it's a 4-diff, right? So our chains are a little bit easier curve-wise, right? Because this, like, if we go double slash into Turn to Dust, we have to commit a card. If we go double slash into Slashing Whirlwind, we don't.
Exactly, and that's what I was thinking about too. Whenever I was looking at the attack lineups, I didn't want to, because there are so many good 5 diffs in Evil, but I didn't want to overload on 5 diffs, so I'm always having to check hot on every string.
So here is actually what I want to do then. You ready? We're gonna take this Dark Shadow Ruin, we're gonna cut it down to the 2, and we're gonna put Slashing up to the 3 of. We're still gonna keep, or maybe even we put up to a 4 of.
A 4 of, and cut Nice Slice down to 3.
I think we're just gonna go to 20 attacks.
20 attacks, okay.
Yeah. We have Excited for Blood, which we're going to be playing at a 4 of because this card's not fair. And we're going to play Super Rejuvenation because this is what we get the leverage under the Death and Evil symbol. Is these 2 cards mean that we'll live forever. Forever and ever and ever. Not to mention any amount of blocking that we do. It's so fucked up. And challenge the face. Oh my god. I'm gonna hate this character next set.
Nomu card.
I'm gonna hate this character. Oh no. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so this is what I think our attack lineup looks like, and like all of our moves kill, especially this tongue whip at the end, right? Like because they have to block all our stuff. We just give them a little bonus, and then it gets stats and then stats. Like this becomes a 12 damage move so easy, or even just like whipping early, right? Slash into whip into slash, right? Or slash into whip into slice. Nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
this card getting the stun off of slash, yucky.
It like gets so much boost, right? And then since Nomu doesn't buff speed, essentially tongue whip is giving itself speed by clogging your opponent's card pool.
Right. Man, it's crazy. I think these set 1 evil characters are gonna get like one hell of a glow up. I think the set 2 evil characters are like so, but man, Nomu Shigaraki,
yeah,
tough cookies for sure. Okay, into the other sideboard stuff. Box full of babies, I think is really neat inside of Nomu because it does 2 things. Number 1, it's that cycle draw that we get, right? But it also says that your weapons attacks get faster. Imagine Knife Slice having, I don't know, 6 speed. Having 7 speed. Double Blade Slash, 7 speed, right? We cycle draw and get rid of these bad foundation cards in order to attempt to draw more cool attack cards, and then we push a little more damage up and through. We don't get to play box on turn, dark, or tongue whip, but we do get to have it on the other 12 cards in our deck. To the point where, what's our attack count? We're at 56. I actually think putting this card up to like a 3 of would not feel terrible, even like a 4 of, right? Because it's very hard to turn 2 Nomu. It's tough to do that, especially if we have cards like Challenge the Fakes, Excited for Blood, Super Rejuvenation to keep our health high, in order to say that I'm just going to be a consistent machine. I'm a 5-hand size character that if I see 1 attack, I get to see 8 attacks or 8 cards, right? If I see 1 attack, I see 8 cards in a turn. And then my stuff gets even more threatening. If I were you, I would actually just test this card at a 4 of. And just be like, yo, I am so down to have my deck be a little bit thicker, little tougher, and just like play these cards all together. It's sweet. It's very cool.
Yeah, now that we're at 12 attacks or 12 weapon attacks,
yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay. This card's a 4 of. This card's not very new character. not even a little bit. I've been playing this card in Shigaraki, and like the gameplay loop there is you block you block the card, you commit Shigaraki, and then you destroy one. If they happen to play another one, you just challenge the fakes, soak the attack that they're taking with a -1 damage, and then they're just not allowed to play another move. Right? It's either play another move or discard a card, and if they do that, then Shigaraki's just more live. And you get to do that on every single move, and you have 35 health to leverage. And you flip the foundation to give it the -1 damage, and then if it happens to reach that 6 threshold, you just commit the face down foundation. This card is actually insane, and is what's going to make Evil Nomu like the force to be reckoned with. Is this card?
I agree. I 100% agree on that one.
Hero Killer also needs to be a 4 of. Really? And the reason that I feel this way is because of that Deadlock first form. One of the ways that you fight Nomu is you go to Deadlock. And this card says that now my Double Blade Slashes are stun 3s. It says that my Knife Slices are stun 2s. It says that my Slashing Whirlwinds are stun 2s. And so I have stun 2, or stun 3, stun 2, stun 1, stun 2, stun 2 on the turn that I Hero Killer. It means that my +5 damage is going to push through.
Mm-hmm.
And when my opponent does decide to build their Wall Cling, I tell them no. I tell them absolutely not. You get that card out of here. Intimidating Presence. What are you thinking about this card?
I think this card is decent.
Mm-hmm.
I like its response more than anything, just being able to, because usually when someone readies a foundation, they're trying to abuse it and use it multiple times in the same turn. So just saying, no, you don't get to use that again. Yeah, you raid it, but it's completely null and void.
Right.
The permanent to say that their attacks get -1 speed in the card pool is kind of whatever. because it's Nomu, you don't really want to block unless you are forced to, right?
Yeah, we're not blocking anyways. Who cares?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like if I use that permanent, it's going to be on the turn where I really need to use it, but otherwise this is being built and it's going to be used for its response.
This card practically says that it doesn't count as progressive. Well, it ignores progressive difficulty in the card pool, or it doesn't count, right?
Yeah.
That's what -1 speed says it was in the card pool. Like they could have just like that's like a neat way to get around that. But like it's fine. Card's fine. I think it's sideboard bait if anything. I think just like making this a well-oiled, unkillable monster with challenge excited super rejuvenation is like way more interesting than like this tech piece of you've readied a card, let's flip that thing, I guess. Now I think we just cut this card altogether, buddy. I think we cut this card and we put in more copies of Excited for Blood, more copies of Super Rejuvenation, more copies of Desperate Times, Sticky Balls, and I have these high impact cards be what gets us there. Like I almost want to see this as like it's a deck of 3 diffs and 0 diffs. Like there's no in between. The only 2 diffs we play are Challenging and Hero Killer, Nervous Habit, Super Rejuvenation, to the point where I think Brute Strength is gone, man. I think our deck already hits hard enough. I think that Brute Strength, it's got Nomu's big dumb face on it. It's not a Nomu card. It's an Eraserhead card more than it's a Nomu card. It's got his face on it.
That's true. It does have his face on it.
Yeah, we don't need to lose the health for +1 damage. We don't need to destroy the foundation for +1 damage. We are super down to, I mean, this gets +5, this gets +5, this gets +4. Sorry, this gets +5 at the minimum. This gets +5, this gets +5, this gets +4. Sometimes it gets +14.
Sometimes Dark Shadow Ruin gets +8.
What? Oh yeah, sometimes it gets +8. Yeah. This deck does not need to hit harder. If you feel like you need Brute Strength, we've done something wrong here. I think it's gone. I think Brute Strength is out of here, and we're gonna push this up to a 4 of, and we're gonna push this up to the 4 of. Consistency still at 60. What's our block zones look like? It's actually not even bad. Whoa. Okay, so the other options that we had here is we had Classmate Introductions. That is a fine card. If we really like Nervous Habit and we wanted to double up on it, we could do something like this. If we wanted to get rid of something like Sticky Balls, or maybe even like drop 1 Evil Gaze, drop a couple babies. This is essentially the same job because it turns our 5 speed moves into 6 speed moves into 7 speed moves into 8 speed moves with Nervous Habits. It just makes these ungodly fast, and it says that the more that you don't block me, the longer they're going to string. I think that I think that the characters that play this card best are the ones that get the damage, which is why we saw that in the regional we saw Sato make. He said that was the MVP of his day, is because he just got to put damage on it, right? And so, as Nomu, this feels really good because we just put damage on it. So if we want to like in the future, drop 1-2 boxes, toss in double Classmate, this still feels good, and Classmate turns Double Blade Slash. Even if they like erase Nomu, it turns this into a real move. It's a 7 mid for 5 with stun 1, -1 of the check. If blocked, next one gets stun 1. That's great. Hey, with this and double 2 of these, we have a real ass move. Otherwise, it's a 7 mid for 10, and then this becomes a 7 mid for 10, and then this becomes a 6 low for whatever. This is more chances for my Dark Shadow Ruin to get the stats. Right now, I have 6 chances to hit the Ruin stats, to the point where maybe even we just kick it up more, huh? We can kick
don't
this
forget,
up.
we also have Evil Gaze.
We also have Evil Gaze. Yeah. But this is just like consistency to make Dark Shadow Ruin hit for the 14 God intended it to. Eat your heart out, Tokuyami.
Imagine running Stronger in Darkness.
Yeah, true.
Crazy.
Keen Observation. I actually like Keen Observation a lot more than I like Desperate Times, exclusively because of Tongue Slice and Turn to Dust in our deck. Or Tongue Slice. Knife Slice. Knife Slice says they lose a health and you gain a health, and this says that they just lose a bonus. Which like might be worth it, ? Otherwise, it could be... I like Desperate Times a lot, but... the other option is it could be something like Surviving the Final to make sure that like whatever we do get to that low health, because we will get there eventually, as opposed to Disruption, it's now defense and we get to play the game with them, right? We minus the speed, and this is playable every turn of the game, and then we block the move. We don't block the next one. We commit the surviving the final. I would probably cut this card altogether for it. Could not be loaded? Question mark. If I were you, I would cut this for the 3 surviving, and I think that is the correct call.
I don't know. At least for me, like whenever I was playing in the provisional this last weekend, I was playing under order and I was playing Desperate Times.
Yeah.
And I felt like so many people want to draw so many cards, especially going into set 2, where I feel like there's a lot more just draw cards.
I mean, yeah, we do have Excited for Blood as like an option, right? Excited for Blood is probably going to trigger against us, so it makes sense. And it makes sense. Sure, we can toss it.
Just punishes people, you know, or it makes them like really consider when they want to draw those cards.
Right, especially if we find multiples. I'm not opposed. Let's put it back. Nope.
It also helps with the stun of the deck because a good number of the attacks in the deck stun. So
right.
Also, if Sato's going to be a thing going forward, if I'm always going to see that guy under order.
Right.
I kind of just want to main board that card because that character is really scary if he just draws a million cards and doesn't get punished for it.
That is true. That is very, very true. The only other thing that I can maybe see if you're down to increase your count some more, which like we're at 20 with filter and a lot of draw off of Excited if we get to hit, is just more sticky balls. But I think sticky balls as is probably totally fine.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, like, if it comes up, then it's cool. If it doesn't, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not hurting me not seeing it.
Right. Man, and the Deadlock pressure on this card is insane. The Deadlock pressure of Fruit of Our Labor, as well as Hero Killer, is cracked, man. It's actually cracked. Yeah, I'm stealing this deck. This is a deck that you're going to see on me playing on TTS. This deck is sweet.
If you're playing it and I'm playing it, that's perfect because then we have 2 brains playtesting it.
Yeah, I think this deck looks fucked up. I think that this could go win Vegas genuinely. If you like find a good bracket, I think Challenge the Fake, Hero Killer, Nomu, it like these moves hit so hard and so unfairly.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the only thing that is going to crush us is the Todoroki card that says put us all back to 5 foundations. I think that card absolutely murders Nomu, which is why we just sideboard into Shigaraki. And like, I'm down for you to play at 5 foundations because you're not playing at 5 foundations.
Yeah, sideboard into Shigaraki, or I was even thinking like maybe since I am a set 1 character, I can run plus Ultra. So I could sideboard into no wait, never mind. I'm not under Death, I'm under Evil.
Correct.
Evil doesn't, because I was gonna say Night Watch, but that's not an option.
100%.
Yeah, it would just have to be sideboarding into Shigaraki then, and playing the Foundation Destruction game with them.
Yeah, which we already mainboarding Evil Gaze. We just sideboard a Shigaraki and at least 3 of the grab. We just take out the Slashing Whirlwinds. Right, or maybe the Dark Shadow Ruins. Yeah, because we're not giving the stats. Yeah. We take out the Dark Shadow Ruins that say that like after you block with the card, re-ready it and then do your stuff. Yeah, that's tight. I'm into it, man. Slashing Whirlwind inside of Shigaraki is crazy, huh? It's actually more damage.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 19 big ones. Nuts.
And it's a Fury. This card,
Fury?
This card's insane. It's a Fury for no reason. It didn't need to be a Fury.
He's mad. Look how mad he is.
It had just been a weapon. It had been perfectly fine.
He's so angry, man. There's no way around it. Yeah. I think this is the list I'm gonna play, dude. I already want the form code to go drop this into Tabletop Simulator. It's sick.
Yeah, like I just like looking at like what Evil gets, because you can make the argument like obviously like a lot of these other symbols, like you can utilize Knife, Slice, and Death, right? But there's no other symbol where you get this specific lineup of attack.
Yeah.
And I feel like all of them, especially having Tongue Whip in a character like Nomu,
right,
is just insane. and unfair.
I will let you know that I'm gonna be taking out the ruins and putting in the Turnidusts, but I'm excited to know how you feel about ruin. I just don't think I'm gonna be consistent enough to find these classmates or the nervous habits.
Yeah, that is one thing I was worried about too, but I kind of want to rock it to see.
Hey, let it
Just
rock.
because I feel like if it gets there, 13 for 5 sounds pretty good to me, you know?
Nightmeister says this deck is legit only 2 cards off of what I've put together for set 2. Is it the ruin? I can confirm it's absolutely filthy. Hell yeah, Nightmeister. That's what it's the ruin.
It's the ruin, yeah. Ruin's one of those things. It's like a late night 4 a.m. thought. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
super cool. Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things, like, it either pops off or it's just there for a breaker, you know?
Huh. Yeah, man, I think we just made the best evil deck in the game. Straight up.
I mean, probably, right? It can't possibly get any better than this, right?
That's certainly gonna be the title of the video. I think this is it, man. I think this is better than the Shigaraki deck that I made.
Like, I think this at its base is really good, and then as long as you can find the right 10 cards for whatever event you're going to, whatever field you think you're going to play.
For the sideboard?
Like, obviously, Shigaraki's in there. Yeah, for the sideboard.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Shigaraki's in there, and so is Into the Typhoon, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And then maybe Merciless Rush, if you want to play the Foundation Destruction game, but...
Yeah. Maybe.
Like, if you go into Shigaraki and your opponent is a 7-hander, then I think Merciless Rush could probably be put in over some of the other cards in here.
100%.
Just because then it becomes a 4-diff, right?
Yeah. Hey, chat, do me a favor. Nobody tag Jacob Masur in this. We need him to get off of Nomu for just at least one time, you know? Like, we can't let him play, like, the best Nomu deck. We gotta... He's the king of retro. He can't come in here and mollywop us in My Hero 2. All right, man. Is there anything in here that you vehemently disagree with?
No. After talking everything out, everything makes a lot more sense. Like, I was kind of being conservative with my foundations, but I think the foundation lineup now is probably a little bit more greedier than my initial anticipations, but that's kind of the idea of the deck, right?
Right. Yeah.
To just leverage that greed and then just punch my opponent down.
I think it's literally impossible to kill Nomu on turn 2 if you have Challenge the Fakes. Even one copy.
Yeah, that's fair. Because you basically, Challenging the Fakes basically says you're only getting one attack this turn. Yeah. Unless you really want to, like, push out. Like, maybe Asui can do it if she gets, like, the right attack lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it does say failing the check doesn't end the combat phase, right? Like, it does say that on the card, but that means that they just discarded a card, which is so spooky to do against Nomu. That's so scary. They would just rather build, right? Which means that they didn't swing the attack, which means we're just going to force them to block with it, which means they didn't swing the attack next turn, as we are constantly swinging these big, dummy thick 5-speed moves.
Yeah.
God. Who playtested this? Who made the evil symbol good, huh? I want to talk to their manager. This isn't okay.
You need to talk to the guy who gave Fury to Slashing Whirlwind.
And double blade slash.
Why
is he so mad? All right, buddy. I'm gonna get you out of here. Thank you so much for the support over on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, man. Keep up the good work.
This is a crazy list that you've come to me with, and I'm excited to steal it from you.
Oh well, it's yours, man.
Oh yes. All right, you have a good one.
Peace. You too, buddy.